we are going to be honoring veterans. Is anybody a veteran who is
I
here?
am ex-Navy. Sherry's ex-Navy.
Sherry is ex-Navy. Excellent. So we're honoring you, Sherry, and all of your fellow veterans. Any other veterans who are here? Okay. So we are entering into Shabbat. So I'd like to invite us all to take a moment to do whatever we need to open up our hearts and our souls to make space for Shabbat peace, Shabbat rest, Shabbat joy, whatever it is that we need from Shabbat, whatever it is we need to recover from this week. I mentioned before, Noni is actually with us on the Zoom, but is not going to be singing this evening because unfortunately Noni has the flu, and so we're going to allow her to rest and have fluids and whatever she needs to do so that she can have Shabbat as well and focus on recovery. We are going to begin with Hine Ma Tov on page 128 in the blue bracketed numbers. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. This next reading is only on the screen. On Tuesday, we observed Veterans Day. As we transition our minds and souls to Shabbat, let us think of the veterans who are experiencing lasting effects of their service to our country, those struggling with PTSD, continuing to suffer from injuries, living on the streets. May Shabbat bring them some period of respite. May we be grateful for their service as part of our gratitude practice for this Shabbat. May our Shabbat joy remind us of the gratitude and joy of veterans and their families upon a safe return from deployment. This Shabbat, as we rest and seek peace, let us dream of and work for the day when no one will need to serve in combat, and each person will sit under their own vine and their own fig tree, and no one shall make them afraid. For the blessing over the candles, pages 120 and 121, I'd like to invite Janice Isa to the bima, and I'd also like to go and get the lighter so that we can light the candles. Are you okay using the lighter, or do you prefer the little candle? Just pull the trigger. Or you can light the little candle and use that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's better, thank you. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Do you want me to hold anything?
No, I'm good. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Yasher koach. Thank you. We turn now to page 123 in the blue bracketed numbers for the Kiddush, and it's my pleasure to invite Robert Rothman to the Bima.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creative fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
If you're able, I invite you to rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yasher Koach. You may be seated. Back on page 128 is Ma Yafeh Hayom, how lovely today is. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. The Baruch Hu is on page 146 in the blue bracketed numbers. If you're able, I invite you to rise. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach mevorach leolam vaed. You may be seated. On page 148, I invite you to read with me. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 150. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbenu Uvkumenu nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'mitzvotecha leolam vaed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla Nege yomam v'layla Ve'avatcha al tasir Mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. The Shema is on page 152. If you're able, I invite you to rise. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kivon Malchuto Leolam vaed. You may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'elef Asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam nevanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha ve'ayu letotafot beineinecha Uchtavtam על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 157, I invite you to read with me. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there by joining hands, marching together. Page 158. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה. זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Hashkivenu, page 161. I invite you to read with me. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 162. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. The tefillah begins on page 164. If you're able, I invite you to rise. Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha, Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al yiburot, Umidom elach, Melech memit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua b'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. On page 173, I invite you to read with me. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy, and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. We have come to Modim, our blessing of gratitude. And as is our custom, we take a few moments at this time to give anyone who wishes an opportunity to share something that you're feeling grateful for. You are welcome to put it in the chat if you are on Zoom, but also anyone can share anything out loud. I'll begin with our gratitude to all of the veterans who have served in our armed forces, whether in wartime or in peacetime, in combat or not, who offered themselves up and who were willing to do that work for our country, even as it inconvenienced or was difficult for them. Susan Sisler is grateful for her dentist, who is helping to make the work being done bearable. Karen is grateful for family, friends, and the temple. Charlotte is grateful for loving family and friends. Lori Pandolfo is grateful for wonderful friends that she can count on. iPhone 3 is grateful for a singing rabbi. I don't know who that is. Who are you, iPhone 3? And where did you go? Oh, it's Noni. It's Noni. Thank you, Noni.
Of course it's me. I'm sitting here, you know.
Of course it's you. Sitting there, mute. Freema.
I'm grateful that on Sunday I'm going to be celebrating my 78th birthday.
Mazal Tov. Ad 120.
Thank you. With my son and daughter-in-law. And I'm also grateful that I have the strength to continue to do what I'm doing. It's a big grateful for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Patricia is grateful that more people, including organizations, are helping the people in Jamaica get some form of relief after the hurricane. They are rebuilding some homes. Who else is feeling grateful? Tony is grateful for the wonderful interfaith tour of the Brooklyn Botanic Garden on Tuesday, on Veterans Day. It was cold, it was great, he says. Sherry Waldron Dennis.
I am grateful that my mother is going to be 84 on Tuesday.
Wow, Mazal Tov. Amazing. Okay, who else? I'm grateful that Mishka is safely back with us. And everything else is birthday wishes for Freema. All right. Okay. So page 177, I invite you to read with me. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace, is on page 178. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We have come to our quiet prayer. There are words on pages 180 and 181 in the blue bracketed numbers. There are words on the screen, but of course we can always use the words that are in our own hearts. We continue quietly. יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. יהיו לרצון אמרפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. Iyu leratzon imrefi vegion libi lefanecha. יהיו לרצון אמרפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri vegoali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations in our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O God, our strength and our Redeemer. Amen. In keeping with honoring veterans, we include now a Veterans Day prayer. This is on the screen only. God of compassion, God of dignity and strength, watch over the veterans of the United States in recognition of their loyal service to our nation. Bless them with wholeness and love. Shelter them, heal their wounds, comfort their hearts, grant them peace. God of justice and truth, rock of our lives, bless our veterans, these men and women of courage and valor, with a deep and abiding understanding of our profound gratitude. Protect them and their families from loneliness and want. Grant them lives of joy and bounty. May their dedication and honor be remembered as a blessing from generation to generation. Blessed are you, protector and redeemer, our shield and our stronghold. And we say together, Amen. We turn our thoughts now to those among us and those in our hearts who are ill and who are in need of healing of body, of mind, or of spirit. If you are on Zoom, you are welcome to add names in the chat. And also everyone will have an opportunity to add names out loud. We hold in our thoughts and in our hearts for healing this evening Susan Sisler, Barry Charles, Melissa Lumish, Jody Siegel-Stein, Fiola Murray, Debbie Rubowitz, Wendy Hershey, Gary Hershey, Isaac Hockman, Lennon Safe, Charles Slaybaugh, Miklos Greenberg, Joellen Fox, Valerie Pace, Sarah Bard Ratliff, Kenny Schweiger, Liza Nunes, Gina Marie Cortez, Janet Schlesinger, Jim Festa, Katie Pandolfo, Amanda Alon, Jonathan Falkowski, Martha Vincent, Ingrid Grosso, Eddie DeAngelis, Vicki Lightmaker, Nettie Trommer, Mia Gannon, Jeff Abel, Freya Kashmir, Delphine Wolf, Helene Smith, Liz Yasuda, Mark and Paul Steiner, Celia Karp, Aki Yasuda, Stephen Belay, Monica Bayer, Tom Scotagaza, Sarah West, Catherine Haslanger, Randy Epstein, Rita Landberg, Patty Ann Cubero, Eric Platt, Bobby Baumgarten, Sam Sarfati, Deanne Lopez, Evan Henning, Celeste Cooperman, Lisa Gerson, Ben Lerman, Darren Smith, Adele Milch, Jean Guskin, James Day, Deborah Belsky, Jonathan Hockey, Deborah Thaw, Marlene Unterberger, Etta Vendetti, Madeline Jonas, Noni Schuster-Donato. Mike Erb, Nicole Hall, George Hall, John Holder, Della Holder, Vanessa Johnson, Juliet Dale, Maureen Dale, Adrian Walton, Yvonne Lewis, Ada Torres, Francis Torres, Anita Jones, Augustine Davis, Damian Colon, Jennifer Magoo, DeAndre Wynn, Brandon Lee, Vincent Jones, Tracy Strumpf, Susan Bilecki, Al Rupowitz, Stacy and David Mauser, Hannah Paines, Amy Balin, Carol Rosen, Kathy Garak, David Brunner, Kara Kantrowitz-George, Nancy Ostrover, Mary Lou McGivney, Patty Ann Cubero, Pat Flood, Kathy Sunby, Martini Narcisse, Claude Smith, Dina Curett, Leslie Sedlitz, Helen Samuels, Roberta Finelli, Joanne Snyder, Eddie Levitt, Sheila Brenman, Harry Munns, Gina and Jacob Becker, Beth Fridinger, Jonathan Allen Dash, Joyce Aronson Giordano, Lisa Bennett, Mike Wenzelberg, Marion Mandel. Freema?
Debbie Belsky, Paula Smith, Dan Feynman, Diana Gonzalez, Richard Curley, and Delisa Cimetti, David Goldberg, Kathy Brother Gabby, Sarah Rosenberg, Martin Bennett, Alicia Serpy. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Linda Kushner?
David Gershon, Stevie Doppelt, Mort Kessler, Phyllis and Lloyd Benjamin, Lana Epstein, Bernice Ochansky, and myself. Thank you.
Anyone else on Zoom? If you're in the room and have names to add, please rise or raise your hand. Janice? Mishka? Anybody else? We include also all of those who have been wounded in service to our country or Israel, those who have been harmed in war and conflict around the world, including in Israel, Gaza, and the West Bank, also Lebanon, Syria, Afghanistan, Ukraine, Haiti, Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and other places as well. We include those who have been harmed in recent natural disasters, including Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica and the Caribbean, and typhoons in the Philippines, and earthquakes, all sorts of things that are happening around the world. And we include those who have been harmed by the things that humans do to each other, including gun violence. Our Misha Berach is on page 371 in the middle of the page. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion begins with our first matriarch, Sarah's, death, and our first patriarch, Abraham, also dies at the opposite end of the parsha, at the end of the parsha. But our Torah portion isn't only about endings, it's also about beginnings. Our second matriarch and patriarch, Rebekah and Isaac, meet and marry in this portion, and we're told that in that relationship, Isaac finds comfort after the death of his mother. Abraham remarries after Sarah's death to Keturah, and they have a number of children. Our rabbinic commentators speculate that Keturah is actually just another name for Hagar, Ishmael's mother, and so this marriage, while new, is a return to a relationship from years before. Isaac doesn't find his own wife. Abraham sends a trusted servant to his family of origin to find a woman for Isaac to marry. The servant returns with Rebekah. Arranged marriages were not uncommon in ancient times, and in some parts of the world and in some parts of Brooklyn, they are still practiced today. They are unusual in our Bible, though. Isaac is the only one of our three patriarchs whose marriage is arranged by someone else, and is one of the only men in the Bible who don't choose their own wives. Fathers do arrange marriages for their daughters, but usually the arrangement is made with the groom who assents. Some commentators see this as being linked, the idea that Isaac didn't find his own wife, some commentators see as being linked to what happened at the end of last week's Torah portion, the Akedah, the binding of Isaac. Abraham took his son to the mountain God showed him, put him on an altar, and raised a knife to his throat to sacrifice him. Abraham was stopped in time to save Isaac's life, but perhaps not his emotional and psychological health. You can imagine what kinds of problems it might cause a person to be nearly sacrificed by their own father. Compounding this traumatic experience at the hands of his father is the death of his mother, who went to great lengths to protect him and care for him, including casting out Hagar and Ishmael when she saw Ishmael mistreating Isaac. Isaac is, perhaps, not capable of going out himself to find a wife who will be good to him, take care of him, and comfort him. Tuesday was Veterans Day, as we mentioned. We honor those who have served our country in the armed forces, either by volunteering or by being drafted. Whether they served in wartime or in peacetime, in combat or at a desk, they knew they could be asked to risk their lives for the well-being of the United States of America. We know that many veterans have suffered trauma of various kinds in the course of their service. Many were injured. Many of those injuries have caused ongoing pain or disability. Many suffer from PTSD. Many lost fellow service members. They carry that grief with them. Like our patriarch Isaac, our veterans may carry scars that are not visible, but that mean that they need compassion, understanding, and sometimes practical assistance. Their lives go on. Hopefully they experience joy, comfort, new beginnings, but the past stays with them too, as it does with all of us. We also marked Kristallnacht this week on Sunday. That was another kind of trauma that befell the Jews of Europe. We know that many of us carry scars and pain from that event, and the impact of the Holocaust on our people has been very heavy and traumatic. With our patriarch Isaac, we too carry the pain of trauma. But in our community, we also find joy together. We celebrated a Brit Mitzvah on each of the last 2 Shabbat mornings for Asa Burke and Talia Stein, 2 really wonderful, amazing, insightful young people. And this year, a number of children have begun or continued their Jewish learning at Beshert. It's exciting and beautiful to witness L'Dor Vador from generation to generation in action. We know that every well-lived life includes trauma and pain, as well as joy and love. The joy and love don't take away the pain, but they may temper it. We continue to celebrate and laugh and love and live as vibrantly as we can. Isaac found comfort and love with Rebekah. May we also be able to rely on each other for the comfort and the love that we need. May we have much to celebrate, and may our community continue to be one where we support each other through difficulty and share our joy with one another. Am Yisrael Chai, the Jewish people lives. Amen and Shabbat Shalom. We are going to continue our service with the Aleinu. Do you want the whole one? You want the long one? The long one. Yeah, we'll do the whole one. All right, so it starts on page 586 at the bottom of the page. If you're able, I invite you to rise. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינות. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us, our loved ones who have died in the past days or weeks or months, or in past years at this time of the year. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598, and I need to grab the Yahrzeit list. In a moment, I will be sharing our Yahrzeit list to the screen. Those of you who are on Zoom, if you have names to add of anyone for whom you are saying the Mourner's Kaddish this evening, you are welcome to put the names in the chat. Also, everyone will have an opportunity to add names out loud. Those of you who are here in person have the yahrzeit list in your green bulletin. We remember those who have died in the past year. Douglas Wilson, Mary Katz, Ulla Gildier, Ken Berkowitz, Joseph Donato, Rochelle Spitzer, Jennifer Blitzer, Terry Newman, Emil Maharis, Kevin Korstange, Wayne Perillo, Frank Spitznagel, Shelley Malbranch, Milton Platt, Ellie Greenberg, George Adam, Jack Ignanensky, Alvin Burke, Rose Curas, Lyle Silversmith, Sandy Friedbaum, Philip Bachner, Jacqueline Udelowitz, Ginny Fisher, Nita Steiner. Included on our yahrzeit list for the coming week are Max Beyer, Monica Beyer's father, Irving Brandwein, Judith Brandwein's father, Werner Friedlander, Natalie Friedlander's husband, Bella Guskin, Jean Guskin's mother, Edna Hecht, Alan Hecht's mother, Frida Kaplan, remembered by Sam and Fran Silverman, Annie Kloner, Rabbi Bill Kloner of Blessed Memory's mother, Evelyn Pincus, Joan Salisbury's mother, Miriam Schnall, Ellen Rothstein's mother, Murray Spivak, Shirley Spivak's brother-in-law, Sam Sisler, Susan Sisler's father, and John Tatlis, remembered by Susan Handworker. Daniel Adam Kaplan, Marvin Schneider, Stephen Cacavo, Lori Pandolfo's grandma, Molly Halpern, Linda Kushner's mother, Frida Levy, her father, Joseph Levy, and her aunt, Rose Garbowitz. Freema?
Richard Gordon, Addie Welsh, Debbie Kelly, Barbara Waldman. Thank you.
Susan?
Sam Sisler was my father. He was probably the kindest, most generous human being I have ever known in my life. He took care of his parents. Out of all of his siblings, he was the one who made sure that his parents had a good life. And so my brother and I didn't have to be told to help take care of your parents. We did it by example. I miss him every day, and he's the one who taught me my love of baseball. Let's go Mets.
Thank you, Susan. Charlotte?
Yeah, I want to mention two people who are on the list.
Yes,
Grace
please.
Moss was a member of the MUR Temple. She was beloved by everyone who knew her. The other person I want to mention is Evelyn Pincus, who chaired our journal luncheon. I don't know how many years. She did it until she could no longer do it. And then she advised whoever took it on after that. She was quite a lady.
Thank you. And I want to say something about Werner Friedlander. When I first arrived at Temple Beth Emeth in 2006, Werner was one of the elder statesmen of the temple, and he was German. His family escaped Germany and spent World War II in Shanghai, and he used to say everyone in his family filled their suitcases with clothes, but he didn't bring clothes with him to Shanghai. He filled his suitcase with books. And when he was in Shanghai, he was able to help to support his family by tutoring using the books that he had brought with him. He had, I can only describe them as courtly manners. He was a formal man and very courtly without ever being officious, just very polite and very formal and very, very wonderful. And one story, I can't do his accent, but one, which you would think I could, but I can't. One story he used to tell was he was a member of Progressive Synagogue, which merged with Temple Beth Emeth in, I think, 1990, I think. And Progressive was more toward the conservative, and Temple Beth Emeth was more classical reform. And there was this, I don't know, Rabbi Kloner would sometimes forget to close the ark, and he would sit people down while the ark was still open. And so Werner would, go up to him afterwards and say, Rabbi, you must close the ark before people sit down. And Rabbi Kloner would say, oh, right, yes, of course, I forgot. And then he forgot again the next time. And then Werner said, we staged a rebellion. That's not his accent. I did that very poorly. But that basically Rabbi Kloner forgot to close the ark, and Werner and a few other people from Progressive, when Rabbi Kloner sat everybody down, did not sit down. They remained standing, and until Rabbi Kloner realized and closed the ark. And he didn't tell it in an angry way or anything like that, but I could say more about Werner, but I won't. Except to say he was a wonderful and remarkable man. Robert?
I just wanted to add that, oral history is not always accepted in historical circles, but Werner Friedlander's oral history of growing up in Nazi Germany taught me more than I think all of these scholarly books put together.
Okay. Robert says that Werner's oral history of growing up in Nazi Germany taught him more than all of the history books that he's read put together. Judith?
And I just wanted to say I grew up going to Progressive Synagogue, and I do remember Werner and his wife when I was a young girl, and my parents were friendly with them, and I just remember him growing up and his wife.
Great. Anyone else on Zoom want to add names or tell us about anybody? Okay, if you're in the room, please rise or raise your hand if you have names you'd like to add. Okay. The Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598 in the blue bracketed numbers. If you're able, I invite you to rise and join in or to participate according to your own custom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich melchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shemei dekudesha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran ba'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to the bereaved here among us and wherever they may be. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimeru amen. A few announcements before we conclude. Tomorrow, we have religious school at 9:45 a.m. At 10 a.m. is Tat Shabbat with our song leader, Daniel. And with me in the community room at 10 is Torah study of Chaye Sarah, the weekly Torah portion. And at 11 a.m. is services in person and on Zoom. A birdie named Diane told me that Portable Crafts was canceled for tomorrow. Is that true?
Yes, we just canceled it this afternoon.
Okay, so no Portable Crafts tomorrow afternoon. I was going to come, but maybe I'll see you anyway. Okay, so no Portable Crafts. Dinner and a movie. The fundraiser is on this Sunday, November 16th at 3:30 p.m. The movie is Night at the Museum. The dinner is $25, which accompanies the movie. And if you would still like to come and have not signed up, talk to Pam Glansman. You can find her information in our Shul Cloud directory because the RSVP date has passed, but I would bet good money, $25 even, that Pam will not turn you away. On Monday at 4 p.m. is Gentle Chair Yoga and Gentle Qigong with meditation and Jewish wisdom. Did I say that's at 4? It is at 4, and that's led by Drs. Gail Levine-Fried and Dr. Bob Fried. Space is limited. Contact Gail if you are interested in joining. Torah study is on Thursday at noon on Zoom with me. Tat Shabbat, 10 a.m. on Fridays with me. Next Saturday, November 22nd, after services, we have a very special event, a book event. Author Beth Pinsker, who is a certified financial planner, is going to be in conversation with Jeff Levinson and also somebody else who she's bringing with her about her book, which is called My Mother's Money, A Guide to Financial Caregiving. Now, I have started reading this book. It is a good book. And so I really recommend it if you have perhaps parents in your life for whom you might at some point have to get involved in financial caregiving, or if you are a parent and have children who might have to get involved with your finances at some point, if you're thinking about things like power of attorney and having co-signers on bank accounts in case something happens to you and all of that kind of stuff. Beth not only has been a financial journalist for many years and is now a certified financial planner, she went through all of this with her own mother. And so the book is part memoir and it's part workbook. And this is going to be worth your time. It's next Saturday after services at 1 p.m. There will be refreshments served. Women of Beshert, 7:15 p.m. on November 25th. This is Ron Schweiger. This is the event that was postponed. Ron is going to be speaking about the history of the sisterhood of the women of Beshert. So sisterhoods of component congregations, as well as, I suppose, the current women of Beshert. That will be on Zoom. Another book talk at 7:30 p.m. on December 4th. Author Jennifer Baum will be in conversation with Mike Rose about her book, Just City, Growing Up on the Upper West Side When Housing Was a Human Right. So that's also going to be a very good discussion. And I think that is going to be in person and on Zoom. The Women of Beshert Hanukkah Luncheon is at 1 p.m. on Sunday at 1 p.m. In case you were wondering, it's there twice. At Vanka Cafe. Information about that is in your bulletin and in the What's Happening email. And on December 6th is a drumming circle with Kyle McGee. No experience necessary. RSVP to the temple office. Donations are appreciated. Oh, Mike says, no, that conversation with Jennifer Baum is not going to be with him. It's going to be with Jeff Levinson also. So there you have it. And now he says, yes. No, yes. Okay. All right. Any other announcements? Okay, so I thought in honor of Veterans Day, we would close with God Bless America. So if you're able, I invite you to rise. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine on you and be gracious to you. May God lift God's face toward you and give you peace. Amen. And before we go across to the community room for the oneg, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Feel better, Noni. Glad you could join us. Everybody have a
Shalom.
beautiful Shabbat.